Come alive, come alive. D&D with Angie.
Welcome to D&D with A and G.
Yay! Episode 15.
Episode 15, so fresh and so clean.
It feels like a big milestone to me
It
for
does.
some reason.
It does. And probably just because we're so oriented around the number 10.
What?
You know, 10s and 15 is 10 plus a half of a 10. It feels like something, you know?
Are we oriented around tens? Not like you and me personally, just like
No, not
humans.
us. Yeah, not us. We're like a society.
Got it.
Yeah. Just to be clear.
Got it.
How are you, Jenna?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Just been fantastic now that I'm here with you on our episode 15.
Can't even believe it.
No, I can't either. What are we doing for this special episode, Jenna?
So episode 15, we're excited about this topic. We're bringing back the nostalgia
Yeah.
with some 90s toys, like or toys from our youth. So like not getting to any toys from our youth. So some of mine may go older than that because I didn't look back whether they came from the 90s or bleed into the 2000s. I don't know, but toys I remember.
We're not going to be sticklers. We're not sticklers on this show.
How did you approach your grid this week?
Well, I absolutely had to do what I think is, if I'm remembering correctly, what you typically do, which is like just refresh my memory with some lists of toys from back in the day. So I did a lot of Googling, got on some Reddit forums, etc., to make a list, and then go from there. I did it, I think, a little based on feel, but I really did lean into some reference charts this week. So
You gave Reddit another chance after how they treated you.
Reddit was unkind to me, listeners. The folks on there, I would call lawful neutral.
Amy was trying to do the good work of sharing our podcast with the world.
With the masses.
We felt really good about the sandwich episode, which was episode 14 that came out last week. Wanted to share it, wanted to make sure people were hearing it. You can't do that apparently on Reddit, and they make sure you cannot do that on Reddit.
They sure do. Like I said, a bunch of lawful neutrals there on Reddit. I mean, granted, there were rules that I just didn't read, so.
Which is why you are.
I'm chaotic good.
Chaotic good. That's my girl. My girl.
Exactly. Oh my God, perfect. Do you want to tell folks who might be new a little bit about what we do, generally speaking?
Yeah. Welcome if you're here for the first time. We're glad to have you. We take the D&D alignment chart, Dungeons and Dragons alignment chart, if you don't know what that stands for, and we take a different topic every week that doesn't belong in there at all. And Amy and I have separately applied that topic to the chart. So we make 9 different picks and put it on the chart. The top chart goes lawful, neutral, chaotic across the top. So that is how much you like to adhere to the rules, and then good, neutral, evil down the side, and that is how well-intentioned you are. And so we place 9 different things, in this case toys from our youth, in the chart, and then we discuss our picks over the course of an episode. There's 14 previous episodes plus a bonus episode all about White Lotus characters for you to check out if you want more of this content. And you can also give us a follow on Instagram at
D&D Wang. D&D Wang, that's right.
Where you can see examples of reference charts, some past content, and get lots of great memes every week that go along with whatever the topic is that we're talking about.
Yes, thank you, Jenna. And as you know, and as some of our listeners may know, I have discovered how to do sound and visual effects on our video clips. So you can expect to see a lot more where that came from on our Instagram page at D&D Wang.
And they are amazing.
Honestly,
They're amazing.
it's like giving me a reason to get out of bed in the morning.
It is worth the follow. It's worth the follow. It is
Amazing.
like we're gonna catch up to Selena Gomez. It's worth the follow.
Amazing. That's where we're headed, baby, to the moon. Okay. What do you think? Shall we get started? Shall we talk about 90s toys? What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's talk about 90s toys. You want to kick us off with Lawful Good?
I'd be happy to kick us off. Avid listeners from the jump will likely remember that lawful good for me sometimes really makes me think of my dad. I think my dad, Mr. Durrance, is a very lawful good type person. He's very like rule stickler, rule follower. Like, so for example, I've never told this before, but it's very apropos. If you're ever walking in a crosswalk with my dad and the numbers start counting down, like it's, he will count down with the numbers every time and like to hurry you along, like to make sure that you are going to get to the other side of the street before that thing hits zero. Like he means business. So a little glimpse. He's precious. I love him.
I
And
mean, I will speed up because I've got some lawful energy that I cannot get rid of as much as I would like to. So I will like pick up my pace across the crosswalk. I won't count out loud. I will
Yeah.
not go that far. I don't
So-
share my anxiety aloud with you.
I will also speed up, but not because of the clock necessarily, but because I don't want to be a hindrance to people in their cars. I don't like it when people walk like they have like nothing in the world matters
That's
when you're in
true.
the car and their clock is down. It's like, hello, do you have no consideration for others? So I'll speed it up, but that's the reason.
Yeah, it is also like female trained to be wanting to be liked by everybody too.
Well, God, ain't that the truth? Jesus. Ugh.
Oh.
Let's come back to that. Um, so okay, lawful good. I thought of my dad and the toy that I loved as a kid. I was so excited when I got it, and that I played with my dad specifically was the Easy Bake Oven.
Really?
Yeah. So, for folks who are listening who don't know what an Easy Bake Oven is, do you think that there are people who don't know what an Easy Bake Oven is? I'll give a quick, it's a little toy oven and it cooks with a light bulb, like the heat from a light bulb, which is hysterical. And they'll give you like little cake mix or brownie mix and you mix it up. You don't need any like real ingredient. I think it's just water, I think, that you add to it, if I'm remembering correctly. And then you put it on a little tray, shove it in there, and you turn it on, and it bakes and pops you out a little dessert that you made. And yeah, my mom and my grandfather would bake like actual real adult cakes, and then me and my dad, while they were baking the adult cakes, we would make our tiny little child cake. So I
Oh
really
my
loved it.
gosh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did not have one of these, but my sister did. And
Mm.
I thought, even conceptually as a child, I thought it was odd that that the light bulb was cooking food that you would eat. Like I found that so weird even as a kid. Like I was like, should we eat that light bulb food? Should we?
Were you worried about like the light bulb's rays or something particular about it?
It just felt conceptually wrong.
Sure.
It's like if you think about eating eggs for too long, you don't want to anymore. Like,
Disagree, but I get where you're coming from. I've had that before with milk, thinking about milk for a long time.
or chewing gum.
I don't get it with chewing gum. I
You're
like
just
chewing gum.
swirling around your own spit in your mouth in a flavor ball.
That doesn't bother me that much. For
Oh,
whatever.
thank you.
Oh, I do think kind of generally that toys that are like my little nephew got like cleaning supplies, like little tiny cleaning supplies. And that was like a toy. And this is like, I feel like Easy Bake Oven is kind of like adjacent to that, like household chores, like things you have to do as an adult that you don't necessarily want to do. Like, let's go ahead and train them up when they're young, get them
Oh, like
going.
that little vacuum that had the balls
Yes.
that popped.
Oh man, yes, the vacuum. The vacuum is a great example. Yeah.
Yeah. Fisher-Price knew what was up. It was like,
They sure did.
adulthood is gonna suck, but we're gonna let you think it's fun right
You
now.
kids are gonna hate it, but let's gamify it as long as we can. Totally.
So what to talk about lawful good, like talk
Yeah,
about
sure.
putting it there.
So, in addition to just like it makes me think of my dad, it felt very like there's one thing you can do with it, and you have to follow these specific rules. Like there's not like a lot of imaginary, you can only do so much with an easy bake oven, kind of like you're gonna bake this flat brownie, that tastes like cardboard. And you got to follow the rules to be able to do it. But it's got that good je ne sais quoi to me. That cliff je ne sais quoi. So I think that's why I put it in good.
I mean, it also follows, like, I think, in terms of like lawful, if you think of lawful in terms of like sort of like gender
Yeah,
norms for toys, like it's doing
right,
that too.
right. Even though I played with
Um,
it with my dad,
I
so that was
know.
neutral, but
That was, yeah, a little surprising to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
Helen wasn't gonna be baking that little cardboard brownie with me. She was a lot of fun to play pretend with though, but what about
Ellen had some games. She had some
yeah.
games that were to her benefit. Like,
I didn't even think about that. That's really true, yeah.
she's
Helen's a
a
mastermind.
genius.
Yeah, she is.
Genius.
I didn't even think about that. What about you, Jenna? What did you put for our lawful good category?
Well, I'll say one caveat. When I listed out toys that really stood out to me from like our era and our youth, I decided to narrow by toys that I personally had.
Ah,
So,
nice.
I'm only gonna touch on toys that I personally had growing up. Um, so for lawful good, I went with Legos.
Oh, nice.
So for some similar reasons, like with Legos, like there's a lot of structure, there's a lot
Mhm.
of rules, like those damn instruction packets, like you have to
Right.
follow to put together the thing. But I think it's like there's some goodness there too. Like, I mean, it's gendered most of them are gender neutral, especially the ones that we had growing up. Like now there's ones where it's like build a daisy farm or whatever. But like when we were little, they were very like build a house, build a whatever. I think it's like an early like STEM exercise. Like I like that it's using good parts of your brain. So yeah, I feel like they're maybe a little rigid,
Mm,
on the a little on heavy on the lawful side, but I think the intention is really good.
mhm.
So as long as you don't step on them,
I was gonna say, then they're straight evil.
straight evil. If you step on them, that's us for sure.
And either
Um,
side, I feel like, you know what I mean? Because you either got
yeah.
something that's poking
Oh
out, or
yeah.
you've got the edges. No side is safe.
No side is safe.
No way.
Um, but yeah, I feel like yeah, it's a thinking exercise. It's for
Mm,
everybody, different levels for different ages. It grows with you. Now they're
look,
really fucking expensive. Bought
yeah,
one
well,
for
and
a
you can
child's
make
birthday. They're so expensive.
even just like regular ones, not like even a kit.
No, it was a kit, but
Oh yeah.
like it was like
I feel like,
$75 or something.
jeez. I feel like with the kits they've gone, because you can get, like you were saying, Legos are like now it's sort of a toy that you can carry with you through your adulthood. Like it's a toy for everyone. But I saw somebody had put together Millennium Falcon that was like super cool.
Yeah.
A Baby Yoda that was really cool, but like really, really intensive. And I think with a licensing for some of these characters, that
Mm,
probably is also in the cost.
yeah,
'Cause, yeah,
that makes sense.
$75. Do you remember what kind of a kid it was?
I feel like it was like a restaurant of some kind.
Oh, cute. Cutie.
Oh
Legos are
Lord.
fun toys.
Um, okay, I will keep us going into lawful neutral. So always reminder, one of our least favorite places on the grid because it's somebody who just follows the rules and doesn't care whether it's helping or hurting. And this was, I remember I got this toy. It was like a summer where this toy was like the toy. You had to have it. And I had one. Some people had multiples, which I would think would have been really stressful. Just one was plenty for me. But it is a Tamagotchi. Is is what I have here. And it seems like a good concept at first because a Tamagotchi, if you didn't have one, it's like this little egg keychain. And it was basically kind of like a game where you hatch a little creature and then you're responsible by checking in on it and provide through buttons on this little egg game, providing it food and water or whatever, to nurture it until it grows into this creature. So, whatever, which when I got it to its like most grown version of a creature, to me it really resembled Ross Perot, and I was horrified. And it took a
Did it
lot of
have,
work to get there, and I was like,
did it
I
have
don't want
like,
to do this anymore.
did it have like super big ears? Is that what it was? Like,
It was just like, it was not that's just
oh
what I
my God,
remember thinking.
Ross Perot.
Couldn't. And I was like, I don't think this is for me. At any rate, so it seems like it's teaching children like, how to care for something and responsibility. But what I think it is just like early screen addiction. Like you
Totally.
can't step away from this screen or something will die. Something will die. It was the earliest, form of screen that we were attached to. We didn't have cell phones. This was the first exposure to something like that was like, don't look away. Something bad could happen. It was a little OCD inducing, like, and you were, I think that's bad. So at any rate, that's, they didn't care whether that was happening. So anyway, this sort of strict structure for keeping this fake pet alive, the Tamagotchi, I guess. I'm assuming that's what we're keeping alive. That's sort of the lawfulness of it, but like not caring whether it's teaching you something good, like, responsibility, or something bad, like screen addiction, is the
Love that.
neutralness of it all.
Love that. How old do you think you were when you had your Tamagotchi?
I remember I was still in Milford Chase,
Oh,
so I would have had to be 6th grade or under.
oh, wow. Okay. Because, okay, I will reserve some comments because Tamagotchi is also on my grid. But I was like trying to pinpoint like when that would have been. And so I guess what we were like 11 or 12.
Yeah, at the oldest.
Oh man. I wonder like if what like young like Gen Z and Gen A kids would think about a Tamagotchi. I'd be curious. I'm gonna have
They'd be
to.
so bored with it. They'd be like, this is so fucking boring.
Oh my God, totally. Oh, okay, that's so good. I'm reserving some comments. I also will have some things to say.
That's fair.
Because I think Tamagotchi is like one of the like that was like
Yeah,
one of the first toys that I thought of
it was
course.
a crave. I mean, it was
Yeah,
a craze. Like,
absolutely. Absolutely. It was like everywhere. Okay. Lawful neutral, as Jenna so eloquently put it, terrible spot on the grid. Horrible. Following rules for no good reason, not caring if anyone gets hurt. To me, the only game, the perfect, one might say, game for this category is the game Perfection. Do you remember that game, Jenna?
is
There was, okay, everyone, okay, listeners, there was a board and there was all of these shapes, holes in the board, and you would have the same shapes with a little, like a plastic, the shapes that would match the holes. And so you would have to pick up the shapes and put them in the holes. But you were on a timer. And as
yes.
soon as the timer went off, the whole board would shake and it would throw all of the things out. So to me, this was traumatizing. This contributed to my generalized anxiety disorder. It's literally called perfection. Like, if you are not perfect, you lose. And so to me, this is just really teaching kids that you have to be perfect and you have to conform to rules, but we're not giving you any good reason for any of that. And enjoy your lifetime of Cymbalta.
Oh. We didn't have that, but I do remember it.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
right?
don't think I ever saw anyone successfully complete it.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard.
And
And
no fun.
no fun. It was not fun. It was stressful. Literally, they called it perfection. It's almost like too on the nose when I look back on it. You know what I mean? Oh, I should bring this up in therapy. Okay, so I guess I can move us along to lawful evil. Lawful evil is domination, using the laws and apparatuses of power to dominate others. And so for me, I had no choice but to put baby alive potty training baby in this category. Let me explain to everyone what baby alive potty training baby is, even though you're probably getting an idea. This little baby came with food that you would mix with water and turn into like an orange goo. And you would put it on like a little plate, and you had a little spoon, and you would spoon the goo into the doll's mouth, and it had like a thing that it would hit when you put the spoon in its mouth, and it would say, "I'm hungry. I want more. Good." It would comment every time you put a spoon in, and then it would tell you when it was done and it didn't want any more food. Then 5 minutes later, it would announce, "I've got to go potty." And so then you put that doll on the potty and it urinates, even though I think it's more like a cloaca and a bird because I think it's only got the one hole for waste. But it's horrifying. You then have to clean the potty. So basically, what this is doing, it's horrific. Let's just go ahead and say that part out loud. You are literally training girls, let's be real, it's always girls. What boy is going to get this baby doll? You're training girls from the time they're like barely potty trained themselves about them potty training their babies. I mean, it's just like such an obvious, like, you're going to need to be trained to how to do this. We're going to go ahead and get you started early. This is what you're expected to do. And it's just disgusting, quite frankly, in my opinion. And so that is why I put baby alive potty training baby as my lawful evil, because it's using the laws of patriarchy for bad.
It's called Baby Alive?
Jenna, there's a whole thing of baby alive dolls. This is just one of them. There's like ones that you like, and the whole thing is they move, like you can move their faces and they like say things. It's no thanks.
Where do you get them?
You used to be able to purchase them at all your finest toy purveyors, such as Toys R Us, Walmart, perhaps. But I found the commercial for it, which I'll have to figure out how to post because it's not pleasant.
I did not have a Baby Alive doll.
I didn't either, but I remembered them. I remembered like them
Oh,
being in the like zeitgeist. Like I remember seeing
yeah.
commercials with them and stuff. And
I
so
remember dolls that you would put things in their mouth, and I think it would maybe come out the other end, but never a goo that you mixed. That is horrifying.
fine, horrifying, right? I mean,
Whoa.
and you have to clean out the potty. Like it's so
Yeah.
funny because right now my brother and sister-in-law are potty training my nephew. And so I'm actually like I was just back there for a week, so I was helping out the whole time, and like it is like what you do. Do you know what I mean? Like I was actually experiencing it with a real human child. And so to then like be reminded of it and look at the commercial, I was like, this is so absurd because it's terrible. Potty training a child. It's like not fun for anyone, but they're, selling it to children, or used to anyway. You couldn't sell that now probably, but anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to find that commercial.
Well, I totally will. I'm going to text it to you after we're done with this episode so you can watch it no matter what.
I mean, that has to be the pick of the episode. Like, I don't think anything's gonna touch that. I don't think anything's gonna touch that. I don't. That's kind of blowing my mind right now.
We'll see, but I'm gonna share it. It's great. Don't you think that's crazy? Also, I would be like, no, I'm not getting that for my kid. But whatever.
Yeah, it's like why can't we just let children enjoy their childhood? Like why are we putting them to work on
Why are they
everything?
already right? They're already caring for little babies when and potty training them no less. They're cleaning up after this baby.
Vacuuming, making
Yeah,
pies, like
yeah, right, totally. Get to work, little girl.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Um, whew, okay. Well, my lawful evil pick will pale in comparison, even though I thought she was strong going into this. But I went with Barbie for lawful evil.
Oh, I thought about putting Barbie.
Yeah.
That's a
Because
good pick.
obviously the gender norm piece of it is, following all these like laws and stereotypes. Especially, I mean, I know Barbie's taken some better routes since then, but like of the era of our childhood, she had not made that these turns yet. We didn't have surgeon Barbie.
No,
We didn't have diversity Barbies. We didn't have
no.
Barbies. Representation Barbies did not exist. They weren't taking cool professions. They weren't doing any of the fun things. It was just Barbies being beautiful and making you want to be thin and beautiful and nothing else.
Yep. Have gigantic boobs and no weight
Yes.
at all. Like a completely insane body that doesn't even make any sense.
And more clothes than you would ever need. So
Oh,
like obsession with clothing and accessories and like materialism and body dysmorphia.
good.
So I think for lots of obvious reasons that don't need additional explanation, I have Barbie in the awful evil category.
I feel like Barbie's a great pick. That's a great pick for all the reasons that you've just said. That's an
I mean,
excellent
it's no baby alive potty cleaning experience. No
experience. I
thought.
love that. I love framing it as an experience rather than a toy. Um, uh, my like Barbie sort of story is that, as you know, I think, Jenna, every year my mom would get me like the Christmas Barbie for that
Oh,
year. Like every year there's like this is this
yeah.
year's holiday Barbie. And I was not allowed to take it out from the box.
Yeah. Collector's item.
Collector's item. And so they all sat on a shelf um in our basement, in our playroom, ne'er to be touched. My mom, so I'm sure they're up in the attic. They might be worth something. But we had a flood in my childhood home, and like everything got destroyed downstairs because the water had come from the first floor and it was down in the basement. Everything was destroyed. All the ceiling tiles were down except for the ones that were over my Christmas Barbies on that shelf. And my mom used to always be like, God saved them.
Oh my God. We had a couple Barbies, my mom, that she did the same thing, like thought they would be worth something one
Yeah.
day. And so we ended up with them and not couldn't decide if we wanted to. Anyway, we looked them up. They are not worth anything. They have not grown in value. Just
Amazing.
it did not happen.
Amazing.
All
You
the
know,
things like 90s moms thought were gonna be collector's items. It didn't happen, ladies. It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
yeah, maybe that's like the Facebook friend selling skincare of the of the 90s was moms trying to hoping that a toy would appreciate in value someday.
Yeah. We gave ours
uh,
all away. At that point, we're like, all right. Thanks, mom.
thank you for that. Okay, I think it's time for you to move us to neutral good.
Sure. Neutral good. We love this spot on the grid because this is someone who will break the law if they need to, or will follow the law. They'll kind of do whatever it takes as long as it's for doing good. So we kind of love this person on the grid, this character on the grid. So for this, I went with Light Bright.
Oh, I loved Light
I love
Bright.
Light Bright too.
That's a good one.
Because I felt like Light Bright was like a little bit more interesting of a toy, like kind of a little bit more out of the box thinking to come up with
Mhm.
a Light Bright. Like it's kind of this like conceptually similar to a Lego, but like a little bit more interesting, a little bit more of an artsy take,
Mhm.
a little bit less rigid. It's almost like a
Mhm.
mentally soothing exercise to do it also. It's like,
Totally.
yeah. So yeah, it seemed like, I mean, obviously, if you didn't have a light bright, it's sort of like, well, if you take if you take Amy's easy bake oven with the light bulb inside and you just put a black piece of cardboard paper,
Yep.
a black piece of, wait, what do you call that paper that's just like easy to,
Co-
what is that paper called?
Not tissue paper.
No, but like thicker than that, that you did it. Construction paper,
Oh,
not cardboard. You put a black
right.
piece of construction
Right.
paper on the front instead of a door. And then it had like specific patterns in a grid with a like naming system to tell you where to put certain color pegs. And so you'd put
Yep.
these certain color pegs and poke them through. And then when you were done poking them through, you'd plug it in so that the light came on and it would have made a beautiful like scene out of all of the
Yeah.
pegs. And then I think it also had the option where you could make your own scene, like
Yeah.
do it
Yeah.
your own way.
Like
So
you
it was
could
like,
write your name and, do like, it was really, like you're saying, really creative.
yeah, so it's artsy, once again, gender neutral,
Yeah.
colorful. It was
Yep.
fun,
It was really,
inventive. Yeah, and it was
it
sort
was
of like there
really,
wasn't really anything else that was kind of quite like it. You could
yeah.
do it over and over again, not get it was kind of like a puzzle, but in a more fun way.
And it makes me think of Etch-a-Sketch, except for instead of the whatever that Etch-a-Sketch, what is an Etch-a-Sketch
I'll
actually?
be talking about that.
Oh, love it. Okay. Love it. Love it. Love it. It makes me think of that except for like with light.
Fun.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes, I can't wait. I cannot wait for that. I love Light Bright. Excellent choice. And I feel like, it was like you put a little heart and you can,
Yeah.
like it was sweet and fun
And
and
the
cute.
fun of like plugging it in and seeing what you'd made
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
the
Totally.
anticipation and then the like joy of it. It was lovely.
Totally. I agree. That's an excellent pick.
Okay, what do you have? What's your neutral good?
Okay, so as Jenna said, we typically like this category. Jenna, I think one of the things you often remind us about with this category is it's the bury a body friend. So
You
that
pick a shovel.
yeah. How'd you know? Um, so for me, and it's like this is somebody who wants to do good, who will follow the rules if the rules are good, but won't follow them if they're not good, basically. And for me, this person was the Doodle Bear. Do you remember Doodle Bear?
Okay. Yes, 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 yes. But explain it.
Okay.
But yes.
So this is one I actually did have. I did have a Doodle Bear and I loved the Doodle Bear. So a Doodle Bear is essentially a bear, like a teddy bear. But it comes with the way that the stuff, instead of fur, it has this material on the outside that you can draw on with a marker. You draw all over it, whatever, and then throw it in the washing machine and it comes out and all the markings are gone. So for me, it was like endlessly creative, like what you're saying with the light bright, where I never worried about like messing up, right? Because I knew I could just wash it and it would come out. So I would get really creative with how I was like tattooing up this bear and doodling all over this bear. And for me, it's like, um, you're bending the rules because you're not, as a kid, you're not supposed to be like drawing on things that aren't paper, except for there was no permanence to that. So you didn't have any like bad permanent consequences from it. So to me, that like feels neutral. And I was like, it's perfect for bury the body because you can just erase all of its content after you do it. It has nothing to get you on, it has nothing to share with the cops to get you locked up. So felt like a perfect pick.
I think I was today years old when I learned you could wash it. I don't think I knew that. And honestly, Amy, Doodle Bear stressed me out because I didn't know that. And
You
it
can
was
totally
too
wash them.
much pressure to get the doodle right. So I was just like, I can't. It's too stressful.
I love that for many reasons. One, I think that really does this is like the gravy thing where it shows how we're different.
You said Doodle Bear, and I was like, no, that stressed me out. And then you're like, you could wash it. And I was like, you could
Like,
wash it.
what? I mean, I probably the truth is though, I probably would have been the same if I didn't know that you could wash it because similarly would not have wanted to like forever destroy my bear. But yeah, I mean that was like one of the main parts of the selling points of the bear.
I thought it was just that you could draw on it, but I was like, I would do one thing wrong, and I'd be like, it's done. I hate it. It's over.
Oh.
I've ruined it.
This is the consequences of games like Perfection on us
Yes.
millennials. Okay, that's what this has wrought. Okay, that's who we are. Poor Jenna. I'm the same way. Doodle Bear.
I
It's
love
honestly
that.
it's honestly a great idea for a toy.
That's a great pick. I
Yeah.
love that.
You.
I'd forgotten all about that too.
Yeah.
It didn't come up on any of my lists.
Doodle Bear. I remembered it specifically. I didn't remember the name because I loved it. I didn't remember the name, so I was like, teddy bears that you can draw on, 90s, and boom.
You keep us going, I think, with
Yes.
true neutral.
Yes. Now this true neutral, let me remind people before I say what it is. What I saw for some reference charts was I will bend rules to my standards, but won't act out to destroy them. My goal is to simply stay alive. True neutral doesn't really have a strong opinion. They just want to keep their head down and live their life. And so this is where I put Tamagotchi.
Oh.
Because I was like,
Whoa.
literally the only thing you're just keeping this thing alive. Like whatever that looks like, maybe you got to play with it. Maybe you've got to flush its little chocolate kiss
Oh,
turd
right. I have little Hershey Kiss
droppings.
poops.
Yes, and it like little poops. And if you didn't flush the poops, then it would get sick because you're basically forcing your little Tamagotchi to live in its own like
No,
waste.
it
So
was so weird.
it was like, and do you remember you would feed it hamburgers? It had little cheeseburgers it would eat, little
No,
hamburgers.
I do not remember that. I
Yeah.
believe you, but I do not. I remember mine was bright green and yellow. The shell was green and like the little inner part was yellow.
That's cute. I don't
I can
remember.
I can picture it really vividly.
I think I had the one that was like a little bit cheaper than the Tamagotchi. I think I got
Oh, I remember that too, the
yeah,
knockoff.
the knockoff one. But what's funny is like when you were talking about when you were talking about how the when it got the oldest, it looked like Ross Perot.
Yeah, it
I
did have ears and it had this nose. It was like
like
this
a
ears,
bulbous
nose.
nose.
Yeah.
I never got to that point because
It was really hard.
I could never keep mine alive. I would just forget. I would be like just distracted every time I would come back and be like, "Oh no!" And it's like surrounded by its own little Hershey kiss poops, or it's like died of being neglected. I hadn't played with it in 2 days or whatever. So I fucking sucked at the Tamagotchi. I never got it very far at all. And like as we were talking about it, it's basically like that sort of iconic, which we never had in school, but like in movies about high school back in like the 80s and 90s, like you had a home ec or something where you'd have to like carry an egg around and take care of it, or carry a little crying baby around and take care of it. And, oh man, this sucks. And like we were basically doing that, but with Tamagotchis that we paid for for to try to sustain their life. And then because they were like very cool, like it was
Yeah.
cool to have a Tamagotchi.
I couldn't believe the cool girls that had like 5. Like that's so stressful. Do you remember the ones that just had like a whole like keychain full of them? Like they had
My
multiple.
God. Totally. That's how I feel about anyone who has 3 or more kids right now. Like, girl, how are you doing that?
Oh my God. I'm dead. Truly
Oh,
though, when I made it to that level and like I saw that creature, I was like, pushed it away and was like, I don't think I can. And that's probably the moment I knew I was not going to be a parent, honestly. I was like,
Listen,
oh, I don't love this.
I don't love this unconditionally. If you look like Ross Perot, the answer is no.
And I didn't try to care for it. Like I just quit. I walked away. Like I didn't even try to see what happened after that. Like I was just like, no, that is not it for me.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. You're
I
like,
worked so hard and I never touched it again. Like I never went back. That was it.
you abandoned your child. I know that from There Will Be Blood. That's like that. Oh, the Tamagotchi. Whoa, whoa is the Tamagotchi. Amazing. I love it. Mm.
Um,
I
it was, Charlotte Russe. My true neutral is in fact a true neutral toy. I went with the Magic 8 Ball, a toy
Oh,
that truly is neutral. It
holy
exists
shit.
in neutrality. It holds no perspective. It harbors no judgment. It's gonna give you a yes, no, or maybe. It seems like more maybes than yeses and nos. It always felt like it was always giving you fucking maybes. It's like, just give me a yes or no, damn it. But it was neutral as fuck, that toy.
That's a great pick. I loved shaking your Magic 8 Ball
I
because
love that Magic 8 Ball.
we asked that Magic 8 Ball so many fucking questions.
I wish I had the total amount of time I spent shaking and reading a Magic 8 Ball. Like, I wish someone could give me the math.
I would have loved like to just know over the years like what we were asking it. Like to see like you know what I mean?
I
Like,
think it was like, should we jump on the trampoline or should we play in the creek? Like, that was the shit I was asking my Magic 8 Ball.
well, but I feel like we were asking it questions into high school.
Oh, yeah. No, yes, we asked it. Yes. If I had one here today, I would ask it.
I would 1,000%. You know what? That's a really good point. I would absolutely ask an 8 Ball questions right now.
It's just the tarot cards of toys.
Totally. Okay, that also makes me think though, going back to Tamagotchi, something that I did not say that I do like to say. When I was reading about them, I was like, I want one now. Like I want to redo. I think I would like a Tamagotchi right now. It's like something that I wouldn't get like too sucked into, like getting into the phone, like, but something to, just
You
every
want a
once in a while.
rematch?
I want to really take care of this one. I want to see Ross Perot. Okay. I want to hatch a Ross Perot. But that's what I'm thinking with the Magic 8 Ball. Like I would buy a Magic 8 Ball right now.
Oh, I think they still make them though. And they're pretty true to the original, except I felt like the gel got a little less cool. But other than that, I felt like they're pretty true to the original.
Case. Well
So
done.
you can get you one of those.
Maybe
I'm
I
sure
should.
there's Tamagotchis on eBay.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find one of those too. I mean, honestly, those are the only two that like on the chart that I was like, I want these still now today. But anyway.
Well, you keep us going, right? Oh no, I keep us going with neutral evil.
Let's hear it.
So my neutral evil pick, this was really big. This is like probably even younger. Like I think I might have been like 4th and 5th grade when this was super popular. And the reason that this is neutral is because rules literally don't exist with this toy. And that's part of the problem. This is POGs. Do you remember POGs?
I have POGs on my chart.
Because I know that rules should exist, but no one ever taught them to me, and I never learned what they were. So we were just always sort of like gambling our favorite POGs with no idea what the fucking rules were supposed to be. And losing, like gambling, first of all, teaching children gambling with their favorite things.
Yeah.
Not great. That's chaotic and evil. But the neutrality of not really knowing what the rules are, it was like, what are we doing here? Like
I love that.
So neutral for me, never knowing the rules, never once learned them. Can't be lawful or chaotic if you never learn the rules. And then the evil is like, it was truly like a gambling exercise. Because you're always wagering your own things to play somehow and losing your own things you loved that your parents bought for you. to play, which I felt like I was just constantly losing things I loved in this game without knowing rules about it.
It's probably, it's maybe it's good because you don't want to gamble now,
It's the mothers against drunk driving
Yeah.
of
Little
gambling
did
for
we
me.
know that Mothers Against Gambling were putting out POGs.
Maybe it's an acronym. Parents over gambling
That's what it is.
something.
Parents opposing gambling. POG. Oh,
What's the S?
I love that. Well, that's one POG, and then S is just multiple POGs.
You have pogs on your chart?
I have POGs on my chart. I mean,
Oh my God.
I actually think POGs were pretty iconic when we were,
Yeah.
and they were everywhere. Like, I feel like there was in
They were
middle
like the baseball cards of our generation.
That's right. That's right. That's a good.
But I didn't understand them.
Yeah, I have them on my chart. I'll reserve more comment, but I love that you have them on your chart too. I love that.
Because they were before we met. Like this is well before our friendship time.
Yeah, this was younger. That was definitely when we were younger, right?
I mean, I guess a lot of this was, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what do you have for neutral evil then?
Neutral evil. Neutral evil. As listeners may recall, the motivation of neutral evil characters is gain. So I think really of greed as sort of the ugliness of this category. And so for me, neutral evil is Beanie Babies.
They're also on my chart.
I love
We have
it.
a swapsies.
Maybe we have a crisscross applesauce.
Oh, yeah, that's what we call it.
We probably do.
Good.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, so for Beanie Babies, for me, when we were, and anybody or even close to our age will know about this because it was, talk about a craze. Like Beanie Babies was like an actual fucking craze. And they weren't like only toys, they were really financial investments because of like the resale value on the secondary market. Um, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look into Beanie Babies a little bit more. Like what's going on with Beanie Babies right now? Because I hadn't thought about Beanie Babies for a while, but this is one of the first ones that came to me for this chart because it was so iconic. And so I looked it up, and the company, who was run by this guy, last name Ty, which is why it's the Ty company, had a deliberate strategy of producing intentional scarcity by limiting the quantity that were put out, restricting individual store shipments so that each store could only get a limited number of these things, and limiting the number of what he put out on in terms of the numbers of different designs, and then retiring designs. And so it would be like, oh, you have an original Teddy whatever, from 1995 that's never been made again, blah, 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 right? And apparently he came up with a strategy because they were not selling. So this motherfucking evil genius was like, oh, you won't buy them? I'm going to make them more exclusive. And then all of the sheep do what the sheep do, Jenna, and they fell for it. That exclusivity.
It's me, I'm sheep.
Well, so I'm like, I never really, I mean, sure, I was into them in the way everybody was into them, but I was kind of turned off because I got in big trouble at home because I took the tag off because I'm trying to play with this thing. And so I took the tag
How
off.
will you know its name and cute poem?
Well, needless to say, my mother was furious.
And birth date.
Yeah, name, birthday, sweet little poem, or that it's real and not a counterfeit, because there was like a huge thing of counterfeits because of how much they were selling. But you can't resell them. You can't really do anything with them if you take the tag off. So I had ruined this toy's potential future earnings and got in trouble for it. And I was like, I don't like this. This is not fun. This is not a toy. Why are you giving this to me if I cannot play with it? I don't like it. And then I looked up this guy His name is Harold Ty Warner, so it's a Ty company. He's worth $6.2 billion. And this is how his Wikipedia page starts. Harold Ty Warner is an American billionaire toy manufacturer, businessman, and convicted felon.
What is he a convicted felon of?
Tax fraud, big
Oh my
surprise there.
God, just pay your fucking taxes,
Just
you
pay your-
assholes.
Seriously, you became a billionaire off kitty toys and you can't pay your taxes? So
like,
yeah,
y'all have like no tax bracket anyway. Just pay your
right.
fucking taxes, you
Just pay your
assholes.
taxes. You'll never be able to spend that much money. You'll never be able to spend all the money that you have.
Yeah,
You
pay
are
your
an
fucking
asshole.
taxes. Jesus
Hoarders
Christ.
of wealth, immoral, billionaires
And
of
then solve a world problem, and then
Right.
sit down and shut up and be rich.
Yeah, right. Like, not to go too far off, but another billionaire that needs to shut up and be rich,
Go.
J.K. Rowling.
Oh my God, no. She could just die. She could just die.
Like,
No,
Hateful.
just die.
And then she put that picture of herself literally
Oh.
smoking a cigar and having a cocktail on her yacht. I'm like, you are giving like villain energy, sweetheart. Like, how can you not even see that yourself? You know, what a bitch.
No, she could just die. She does
Oh.
she does not deserve enjoying being rich. She can just like fall off the yacht and get eaten by a killer whale. Summon the killer whales.
Where are the orcas?
Get the orcas going. Get the orcas.
Oh, I love it.
Mother Earth, we want the orcas.
Please.
I knowing that backstory element, I can see why you might have them there.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I feel like this is gonna be a really interesting crisscross applesauce.
It's if they're in the same place. I mean,
think
I don't
they have
know.
to be. I think they
don't know.
have to be. We'll see. Maybe not. Okay.
We'll keep us going with
Oh.
chaotic good.
Okay. Okay, so chaotic good, as folks know, is a good actor, but like loves chaos, hates.
It's Amy.
No, but sometimes like, yeah, maybe, but I don't. This one, you're gonna laugh. I think I have put in chaotic good the Furby.
Honestly, my pick is not dissimilar. It
Really?
is not samesies.
Oh, but it's close. Twinsies.
It's close.
I love that. Okay. So I didn't realize this, but in doing this research, because this was one where I was like, Furby was also a really big deal back in the day, and so it came up for me when I was thinking just like about the grid. But then when I was trying to figure out where to put it, I like started looking up, doing some little research, and apparently a Furby is a hybrid bat owl creature, which I did not know. But I feel like that is chaotic as and then apparently there was no off switch, so you had to take the batteries out to turn it off. And so if you didn't do it, it would just like in the middle of the night, like
Yeah.
speak to you, you know, or you know,
Right.
giggle or whatever. And it spoke Furbish, you know, its own language.
Ah!
But but the thing that really
They did that shit on purpose. Get it together. They did that on purpose.
You mean not having an off switch?
Yes.
Yeah, of
Come
course.
on. Come on. They thought that through. They thought through.
Of
They were like,
course.
this is going to be funny.
Yes. And like that's chaotic and
Yes.
hilarious. That's so chaotic.
These were people that hated parents and children. They hated them both.
Oh my God, total chaos agents. Yes, that were not into children or adults. Oh, but the thing that like really put it over the edge for me was that in 1999, it became a national security concern in the US because certain like aspects of the government they started thinking that the Furby could record conversations. And so in 1999, they were banned from the National Security Administration, the NSA's locations. And I have like so much to say
So
about that.
many questions.
Like, number one, who takes a Furby into their job at the NSA? Like, why do you have a Furby on your desk at the
First
NSA?
of all, I love you. You're my favorite NSA employee. You rule. You should get a promotion. How do we help? Okay, next questions.
I mean, true, they are probably sweet and cute.
You're the best.
But the funny thing is, it wasn't true. So like the agency in the US that's supposed to be like, you know, collecting all of this, you know, fucking intelligence is wrong about whether a toy can record conversations. And so like they banned it from the NSA locations, and then they like retracted the ban because they were like, no, actually we were wrong about that, so they're fine.
So you can bring your
Yes.
Furby to work at the NSA?
Yes.
Just
So
checking.
now today
Asking
you
for
can.
a friend.
You 100%, I think, according to my very limited research, can now return your Furby to work.
First of all, I'm really impressed with the level of research you're bringing to this episode, Amy.
You.
Like, can we?
Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa, that's impressive.
It's
How was
chaotic, right?
a full circle story with the Furby that we just
Yeah.
went on. That was a journey.
And it was a chaotic one at that. Chaos around every turn. So that's why I've got mine in chaotic good.
You know, I'm glad that they got justice in the end and they're allowed back in there. They were wrongly accused. And ultimately, the NSA saw the error in their ways and they righted that wrong. And now they are allowed back in. It's a good story. It would be a great movie.
You know what? Why haven't they made a Furby movie? I mean, they made a movie about everything else.
Isn't the Goonies basically a Furby movie?
Kind of Gremlins too.
Oh, Gremlins. That's what I meant. Sorry,
Yeah.
Gremlins, not Goonies. That's
I was
just
like,
children.
I'm not seeing the Goonies, but I don't know, maybe.
I've seen the Goonies, but not Gremlins. That's the problem.
Oh, Gremlins is good. It's a good Christmas movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie, by the way.
No, I mean, I agree that any movie taking place
Yeah.
at Christmas time is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
I'll save it for Christmas.
Save it for Christmas, yeah. Incredible. What about you, Jenna? What do you have in our chaotic good category?
I don't think this is okay. The research is not there, but I don't think conceptually it's that different.
Okay.
My chaotic good is trolls.
Oh yeah, totally.
So like similar conceptually. So
Yeah.
it's like, first of all, like if like Barbie is like opposite into the chart with lawful evil, trolls is chaotic good because like, first of all, who the fuck came up with this concept for a doll? But like, I love the body positivity.
Yeah.
Why are they naked? We don't know.
No.
We're not really asking questions. No genitalia is happening, so I guess it's okay. But I love the like no focus really on like we're just like it's like body acceptance, like body neutrality even. Like they're really ahead of their time doing that thing. I have a lot of belly button phobia, so I didn't really love the emphasis on like a jewel in the belly button. But you know, that's kind of a very me issue, so I'm not gonna like hold that against the whole line of the doll. But colorful crystals are fun. The fun hair color is fun. Like it's like a fun concept. It is chaotic though. Like it's the whole thing is a little chaotic. Like none of it makes sense. It leaves you with a lot of questions. It's definitely breaking some rules in terms of like what you expect from children's toys. But I think in a good way. Like I think in a good way of like not having kids focus on the wrong things and breaking them out of their shells a little.
I couldn't agree more. I think that's an excellent pick. I love a troll. They're so cute.
They're so cute. And my sister had an epic troll collection. I had some, but Blevin had an epic troll collection.
Do you think she still has them?
I bet she has saved a few favorites, would be my guess.
Because trolls are cool.
No, it's such a cool. I mean, it's very cool.
And then they made that movie. They made all these movies about them.
Oh yeah.
They're making,
yeah.
Yeah, they're doing too much, honestly. They're doing too much with it's too many toy movies, I think. Like,
Oh,
it never,
really?
well, because there's any kind of, or maybe not just toys, but like the Minions thing, like, oh my God, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like,
yeah. I haven't even seen the first one. I'm
I
like, no, I'm
haven't
like
either,
so behind. It's overwhelming. They don't
but
even talk. Like,
no,
what are we doing here?
but it does seem like it's to me is more like, some movies are made for art, some movies are made for money, and all of these are like consumer movies, just like, oh, kids for whatever reason are go fucking ape shit for these little minions. And so we're gonna squeeze every last fucking drop. But yeah, anyway, I digress. I think trolls are actually cool.
Did the Minions? No, no, no. They didn't. They didn't come from Toy Story. They're not
No,
the things in the
no.
machine.
But
Okay.
they do. I wonder if the things in the machine kind of like, because it's all, maybe they were like maybe they were inspired by it, because that they are quite similar, I think.
Mm,
Um, I love trolls. And I think trolls are a great Halloween costume.
yeah.
What are
Yeah.
tell me,
The nudity and the belly button thing.
this is so gross and
Oh
sorry.
God. Is it belly button gross? I don't
Sorry
know if I
to the
can.
listeners. I just remember grossing you out with belly button stuff. Like, I remember
Oh,
that about you.
oh, oh. It holds true.
Because I have
I'm
have
still
remember, Jenna, I have quite a deep belly button. I'll just leave it at that.
I really don't like belly buttons.
I'll just leave it at
On our 15th episode, you get to know this about me. Thank you for joining on this journey.
that.
Okay, I'll keep us going with chaotic neutral. And this is where I put Beanie Babies.
Crisscross applesauce.
Do we put the buzzer for
Well, I'll
that?
I'll find one. I'll find a noise to make on that.
Oh, good. Um, so here's the deal. I did get pretty obsessed with Beanie Babies, and my mom was, because she did really like collecting things that she thought would grow in value, so she got pretty into it too. I think I subscribed to Beanie Baby magazine at one
Oh,
point.
that's amazing.
Like, whoa.
That's amazing.
We at least bought issues of it, but I might have had a full-blown, like, it came to my house monthly. I had the little protective plastic cases you put over the tags, so
Oh
that made it
shit.
easier to play with them without messing the tag up.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's an option. But my really special ones, like Princess Diana Bear, they had to stay in the black, like, glass plastic cases.
You had a Princess Diana bear?
I fucking did. Sure did. Had
Where
one.
is it?
We gave them all away. We gave them all away. We gave them to an elementary school.
Well, that was nice.
It was like 500 of them. We gave them to an elementary school.
That was really kind.
Dad's like, what do you want to do with these? And we're like, give them to a school that wants them.
I saw a Princess Diana bear on eBay. I looked it up and it was listed for $50,000.
I mean, I think some of them were worth, but it was not like all of them. It was like it depended on things. It was still like, it's like a coin, you know? It was like,
Yeah,
it had
right.
to be. So yeah, there's a slight chance that one was worth a lot of money, but I think probably not.
Yeah,
She was protected though.
love that.
Um, but I mean, the craze was so crazy. Like, it was like they were selling them in the weirdest fucking places. Like, it wasn't just like at toy stores. It was like they would have them in like the front, like, window of a place that doesn't even normally sell stuff, like an insurance store or something, where you could run in and and buy Beanie Babies from these people. Like, it was so bizarre. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, it was chaotic in like the price points. Like, it would range from $5 was kind of like a standard price for them. Like, that's what you should be paying per Beanie Baby. But it would go up to, yeah, like 50 if it was like a really sought after rare one. Yeah, where you would find them. I mean, I remember like mom and I would be like driving down the road somewhere, and you'd see like just a little white sign on a stake, and it'd be like Beanie Babies for sale, and we'd pull over wherever that was and like run in and see if there was one we wanted that was like,
That's cute. Yeah.
it was weird. It was fucking weird, Amy. It wasn't sweet. We'd be going to random ass places with money we didn't have buying Beanie Babies we didn't need. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Sort of felt like a bonding thing, maybe. I don't
I
know.
mean, no, I'm sure we had fun, but it was just absurd. It was absurd.
Beanie
So anyway,
Babies.
I mean, that was like the chaotic element of it,
Mhm,
certainly.
mhm.
To me, it felt like neutral in the sense that it's like not causing harm or good.
Mm.
It's just sort of like neutral in that. Like I didn't feel, but I did not know this. I did not know the backstory of. They didn't feature that in Beanie Baby magazine. Let me just tell you, they didn't talk about Ty's intentions. So I had never heard that
Uh,
actually.
yeah,
Although I do think they've done documentaries on it.
yeah.
I
I
just,
think there's one out. I haven't seen it though.
yeah. But that I would believe it. I mean, that makes sense. They even like McDonald's did like a partnership where
Yeah,
they did little mini
yeah,
Beanie Babies, and we had to go to McDonald's
yeah,
until we got all of them.
yeah.
Like it was just like I was so obsessed. So my poor
I mean,
parent.
it was a good, it was a, he was like, really is like a business evil genius. You know what I mean? Like he knew what
Yeah.
he was doing. Like,
If I knew that, I think I would have gone chaotic evil. But I just didn't know that.
yeah,
I didn't know it was so intentional.
yeah,
So I thought it was just sort of like, yeah, neutrally happening.
yeah. No, it was, apparently very intentional. And, but that's like kind of a, I mean, I guess people who weren't around or old enough back then wouldn't, I mean, it was such a phenomenon. Like it was crazy. Like,
Magazines, literally, and it was not like just one magazine. There were multiple Beanie Baby magazines you could choose from.
that's so
Absurd.
good. That is so good. I love it. Uh, well, this is where I put Pogs.
Well, tell us about it. Tell us about your POGs experience.
So first I looked at some reference charts and I saw these guys can be defined by one word alone, unpredictable. And then also another one said driven by impulses and desires. And so
Mm.
to me, pogs are just inherently chaotic, even though I did generally understand the rules. But they
If you
but
knew the
there's
rules, I could understand you putting it in a different place. It
yeah,
was my
right.
lack of understanding is why
No, that
I
makes
put
sense.
it where down the grid.
That makes sense. But you know, like literally what you do is you stack you put a stack of pogs down, like in their little like cardboard circles, essentially, right? And you'd have a big one that was made of a different, like the
Slammer.
plastic, and it was the slammer. And the slammer, you would, as is in the name, slam it down onto the whole thing of pogs, and whichever one's flipped over, like you got to keep. So you were slamming the other person's pogs, and the pogs that you flipped over, you were able to take and keep. Like Jenna said, it was for keepsies. Like it wasn't just for the game to do the score. If you won pogs, they were yours. And if you lost pogs, they were no longer yours. And I think that's pretty chaotic for kids. And I think that just like, and you could play it like anywhere, right? You could put it on the floor and just slam on the floor. You slam on a table. Like you didn't need a board. You didn't need, it was basically like a game you could play anywhere, which feels like a little chaotic to me. And then in terms of the good or evil, I think I put it in neutral because it was like chance, you know what I mean? Like you weren't necessarily like, I mean, sure, you could be good up to a point, but like at the end of the day, it's really left up to chance. And so for me, that was chaotic neutral. And in terms of my own experience with pogs, I don't know if I ever like actually really had pogs or if I just like watched a lot of people play pogs. Maybe Ross had pogs. I don't really remember. But I do remember I was vibing with the guys who would typically have pogs. Like
Mm.
in terms of like different groups, you know, of kids like in middle school, like or late elementary school, like Pogs, the guys who had Pogs were like the skater guys and like the BMX guys and like the cool guys. And so I liked the guys that had Pogs. And
Well, I'm
so
glad you knew how to play. In
yeah,
fairness, like no one else knew how to play either. Like none of us knew what was going on.
it was so chaotic and hilarious. And I mean, I could just imagine like what it would look like You know, it almost looks like kids like playing dice in the back alley or
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean?
Yes. And all these little plastic cases, we carried them all in, like
Which looks like
drugs.
fucking Pogs, dude. You know what? I would get Pogs. I would get Pogs now.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I guess that means
So we're getting you a Tamagotchi, a magic 8-ball, and Pogs.
and Pogs, yeah.
Just making sure I'm tracking on what we're getting you.
Yes. Actually, we should have some of the maybe we should have like branded merchandise for the podcast that's like Pogs, like D&D with ANG Pogs.
And I just want to hide Furbies in my enemies' homes.
You want to get back at somebody's cinema Furby. What are they? I love it.
Like, I wish upon you, Furbies underneath your bed. Okay, well then take us home. Chaotic evil.
Chaotic evil for me, so chaotic evil's motivation is destruction. And for me, this toy was all about destruction. I picked Sky Dancers.
Is that, wait, okay, what is that?
So Sky Dancers were like a doll that was shaped
Okay, yes.
like a fairy with her arms down, her wings down, and you would put her into a base and you would pull a pull string and she would go flying off into the air.
Why do you think that's destruction?
It resulted in numerous injuries
So you to the fairy or to people?
to the child. I don't think they like quit selling them because of the amount of injuries that this toy caused. Things like temporary blindness, cuts, broken teeth, and even concussions were reported. God, and I feel like you could, really blast it at somebody if you really wanted to, you know what I mean?
I see. Okay, so you could use her as a weapon.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't have one, so
I don't know if I had one or Tina Bagley had one, my next door neighbor, but I definitely pulled that string.
Weaponized her.
I definitely weaponized the Sky Dancer. And by the way,
Weaponize the Sky Dancer is the name of the episode, FYI.
Oh my God. I love it. So I guess it really wasn't her fault.
I don't know. Do guns kill people? Or do people kill people?
Oh, in that case, fuck that Sky Dancer. What about you, Jenna? What do you have for chaotic evil this week?
Well, I alluded to it earlier, and
Yes.
my chaotic evil is the motherfucking Etch-a-Sketch. Look, I had to look it up because I was like, maybe I'm wrong. And maybe this isn't even a toy. Maybe this is intended for geniuses 40 and over. And it was just given to me as a child, and that was a mistake. That was a total fucking mistake. But no, I Googled it. It is ages 3+, and what motherfucking 3-year-old is gonna enjoy an Etch-a-Sketch? First of all, if you remember, it is a little red box and it has 2 knobs, and it makes just the tiniest sliver of one line. Like it looks like a barely there pencil that you can follow along either horizontally or vertically, or if you mess up, you can kind of go backwards if you want, and try to make sense of some kind of something. And are you meaning to tell me that a 3-year-old is going to enjoy that? And then if you shake it in any capacity, whatever you've been working on so hard, it is destroyed. It's gone. That's it. We hope you weren't trying too hard with your pencil sketch because it's gone. I'm just like, what is this? Who is this for? What level of brilliant mind do you have to be to enjoy what is happening here? This is not a light bright, and I do not want it. I would get one and I would try to do something for about 30 seconds, and then I would just be like, the fuck is happening here? And I would be like, take it away. There is no color. This is like a giving tree universe that is so sad. I cannot exist here. That's how I feel.
Incredible. Incredible.
Did you like them?
You know, I wanted to, I think that's where they got me, is that I wanted to be able to draw cool things on it. So I would try and go back and go back and go back. But like now that you really frame it like this for me, it was really hard to do.
Yeah.
You had to like coordinate, like you were saying, like the two to get like trying to get a curve, like forget about it. You know what I mean? Like, and people,
But is that even possible? I just assumed that was not physically possible.
oh yeah, you can, but you have to.
Oh.
Yes, but like you'll see these people that can do incredible things on an Etch a Sketch, like, but they're like you're saying, they're like,
Ages 3.
yeah, that's wild.
Fuck
That's
off, Fisher Price.
that's
Fuck
wild.
right off.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I can't believe how much I had never thought about that as evil before, but I think you're totally right. And
It's-
there's certainly would be times when you just somebody knocks your arm.
That's the chaos. The chaos is the shaking, can destroy all of your hard work in a moment's notice. The
Yeah, that's
evil
wild.
is like how difficult it is to do anything, and the fact that it's boring as fuck, and that everybody had one, and parents just expected you to be entertained.
You know, that's a good point. Like that was something that you could find at almost any house was an Etch a Sketch.
And be like, no, we're
It's
doomed here
Halloween.
too.
Amazing. Love it. This was a fun one. So no Etch a Sketch. What toys do you want? Beanie Babies?
No, I want to put Furbies in the homes of my enemies.
Right.
I don't want toys.
Love it.
I want a weapon. I want to use the weapons against.
You want to destabilize governments.
Okay, so we enjoyed the lightning round last time, so we're going to try to incorporate that in different capacities. So this time Amy's up,
Yep.
and we decided we're going to do Toy Story, friend or foe. So I'm going to name different toys, and Amy has to say whether she thinks in any Toy Story plotline universe they would be a friendly or an adversary.
Yes. Love it. I'm just gonna yell out friend or foe.
Okay. Are you ready?
Ready.
30 seconds on the clock. Toy Story, friend or foe? Care Bear,
Friend.
Furby,
Foe.
Gak,
Foe.
Polly Pocket,
Foe.
My Little Pony,
Friend.
Skip It,
Foe.
Easy Bake Oven,
Friend.
American Girl Doll.
Which one? We're gonna go with foes.
Molly,
Foe.
Samantha,
Foe.
Kirsten.
Foe.
I only know so many of them.
Felicity. Friend.
The runaway enslaved person.
Oh yikes. Yeah, friend for sure.
Those are the only ones I know.
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch Doll,
Foe.
Sky Dancer Launch Fairy.
Foe.
Can we circle back to Gak?
It felt so evil to me.
Me too, but I thought you were going to be into it.
Evil.
Gak and Silly Putty were almost on my chart because they were so intense. Well, first of all, Gak. Oh, okay. Can we talk about Gak for a second before we close out this episode?
Let's do it. That's the one where you can make the fart noises with, right?
Yes, the fart. Okay, there's so many things I hated about Gak, and okay, like all of my senses, basically, all of my senses hated it. One, you could make fart noises with it, so my ears hated it. Second of all, it had a gross smell, so my sense of smell hated it. It had a slimy touch to it, so like my sense of feeling hated it. But then also, even worse, as soon as you took it out of its like creepy, weird, amorphous shape plastic container it came in and started touching it, it would just pick up other objects it touched and becomes this grimy blob of goo, which gets even weirder and grosser than it was before. I didn't
Disgusting.
taste it, but I have to assume it tastes gross. So just assuming my sense of taste would have hated it. And it was also looked gross. So there you go. All 5 senses hated gag.
Honestly, I understand. I get it. It's to me, it was what you were saying of accumulating things. I like the, you know me, I like the fart sounds, but the smell, the smell was bad and it picked up everything and that's gross. I liked silly putty though. I liked silly putty.
It did most of those things also. Slightly better, but most of those things.
I liked the texture of silly putty and I liked how you could put it on like newspaper. Yeah.
That was weird.
Oh, okay. Before we go to, I want to hear which American Girl doll you were most into.
Well, I had Molly.
Oh, I had Felicity.
I had Molly. Molly was World War II.
Mm.
I think my parents got her for me because she had glasses and I had glasses. That was
Ew.
all I could figure.
Yeah.
My sister had Samantha, and Samantha was really pretty. And then I felt like it was because my sister was really pretty and I was not really pretty. I think in retrospect, that was just in my head.
Yeah. I agree. But kids, our brains aren't very kind to
Our
us.
brains are so fucked up.
They're pretty mean.
I know. Blevin also had glasses.
And you are beautiful. And our
I know.
son.
But Molly seemed nice.
Yeah. I liked when I was, because they came with books, you know, like to tell
Yeah.
you all.
Oh yeah, I read all of her chapter books.
Yeah.
I know the whole deal.
American Girl. Did you know that there's a 90s one and she has an inflatable chair? Do you remember those inflatable chairs? She has an inflatable chair. She has a lava lamp, I think, and she has like a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna send you the 90s American. They nailed it. It's like perfect.
We should put it on the
We
gram.
absolutely, we have to. And you remember those see-through telephones? She had a see-through telephone where you can see all the wires in it, you know?
Cute.
It's like so on point.
I love that.
Yeah. This
I
is a
didn't
fun.
want like Kirsten because like prairie time seemed really depressing to me. So like that was just like I don't want to go back that far.
No, absolutely not. Like you're living it, yeah, like it's a difficult life and you're like displacing native people. So
Yeah.
I
Not
mean,
great.
yeah, no thanks. Not that we aren't doing that now, but
What
you
was
were really at the
Felicity's time?
I think she was around the American Revolution, but she was like the reason I liked her
Oh
was
yeah.
because she was a real big tomboy. She like loved riding horses and she hated wearing her dresses and she didn't want to, you know, and so I like really loved her.
That's cool.
Yeah. You know, there's not really any good now looking back on things that sort of show American history in rose-colored glasses.
I know. I mean, it's definitely all revisionist history.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because like, which is that the only Black American Girl doll they had? Did they have like
Back then it was, and she was, I mean, and she wasn't even there to begin with. It was just this like the core four,
Right.
and then they like added her to it.
and all of these moments in history are like so great, you know what I mean? And so, yay, America. And now it's like, ew, no. Anyway. This was a fun nostalgia-y one.
Addie. Her name was Addie, right?
Addie.
I knew it was going to come back to me at some point.
Addie. Have you seen Sinners?
Not yet, but I want to.
I've already seen it twice.
Really? Did you like it?
Incredible. It's
Oh.
one of my favorite movies probably ever.
I
So
love
good.
all of his things, so.
Yeah. I can't wait
Yeah.
to hear what you think of it. We
We
can
make
start
one
the next
Sunday.
pod with it. Oh, okay. Also text.
Um, Well, thank you for listening. Follow along on social for some really good 90s toy meme content, or share some if you see some, and we'll share it too.
Kisses. Love you,
Love you,
Jenna.
Amy.
Bye.
Bye.